What's good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And this one, I'm going to break down what's going on with Tesla Spine, the QQQ, and what just happened with the CPI numbers. Let me first say that I am not a financial planner, so take none of this as financial advice. And don't forget about the Webull link. The offer ends very soon. If you deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 12 free stocks. So I recorded this entire video not too long ago, and then the entire video just did not actually download properly. So now I have to just re-record everything. So I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible, but I just want to say that so far things are looking pretty good for the markets. We're getting pretty close to open in about 30 minutes. And so far the market is pumping in the pre-market because the data that came out is very positive for CPI. Now let's break down these CPI numbers. Year over year, we got 3% CPI. That is lower than the forecast of 3.2%. I'm sure you guys remember me saying yesterday we want CPI to be below 3.2%. That's what we ended up getting, which is bullish for the markets year over year. Core CPI was 4.8%. That is lower than the 5% forecast or the expectation of 5%. Once again, bullish news for the markets. Once again, lower than expected CPI and core CPI year over year. Then core CPI month over month was up 0.2%. That is lower than the forecast of 0.3%. And on top of that, the inflation rate month over month was up 0.2%, which is lower than the forecast, the consensus, but as expected with the forecast. So overall, the bulk majority of these inflationary measures have been lower than expected. Once again, bullish for the markets. I also want to add just quickly that we have some Fed speakers later on. We have Kashkari 15 minutes after the market opens, who could pump the markets as this guy tends to be very dovish. And on top of that, we have the WASD report, which is not going to be that significant because the market is just so focused on CPI. And then we have two more Fed speakers when the market's going to be open. We have Bostic and Beige at 1 and 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So watch all of this very carefully. This is going to be very, very important. Now, but the biggest thing that just came out is CPI, and so far the market is pumping as a result of some good numbers. The Dow futures have ripped higher as the inflation report comes in later than expected. We're seeing the market responding very positively. On top of this, this is what the chart looks like. I'm not going to go over the specific numbers in CPI until later on, but let's just look at this chart for now. The blue line is CPI. You could see this big decline over and over and over again. And look at the last 3 months. We have this decline after decline after decline. Once again, looking pretty good so far. CPI reached 3% overall, which is a good piece of news. It's good because the Fed is de-incentivized from being more restrictive. They're de-incentivized from raising rates even more, and we're getting very close to the Fed's target on CPI of 2%. However, for the core side of things, check out core CPI right here. You could see the thing was dropping a little bit, but it started to remain very sticky at these higher levels around the 5% area. But then, as of recent, we just got below 5%. We're starting to see a decline that is perpetuating. That is some more good news for the markets. This is what the market wants. And so far, this could have a very positive effect on it. Most likely will do so. Now, last but not least, the news cycle coming out for Tesla has been a little bit negative so far at the time I'm recording this. Basically, Tesla's warning the Model 3 customers that the federal tax credits are likely going to be reduced next year, which could lead to more urgency for people to buy them up very, very soon. This could be a strategy, or it could be the truth as well. Probably is the truth anyways. But if anything, it's worth noting because this, once again, could lead to more consumers buying them sooner. But the news is looking at this in a more negative light. I just wanted to note that. So the news coming out for Tesla has been a little bit more neutral/negative so far today at the time I'm recording this. But besides that, Tesla's holding up nicely, and I think there's a good chance we're going to see some nice price action very soon. So now let's talk about Tesla. Basically for Tesla, we're gapping up, so be well aware of this gap that formed. However, Tesla tested 277.68. If we manage to break that, we're going to be watching 278 and potentially 280. I think Tesla's going to try to pump as we open. When we open up, we're going to see Tesla test 280, maybe even go higher. If it manages to break and holds 280 in a very strong manner, we have this unfilled gap all the way up around 282.5. I think very close to that level. So like right here, we could see Tesla pump for 282.5, maybe 282.84 specifically, if we get a very, very big pump above 280. But I think we're going to test 280 to come very close to it very soon. We're going to see how Tesla does right over there. So watch that level very carefully. I think it's going to try to pump for 280, maybe reject a little bit, trade a little sideways, then maybe try to continue going. But the whole market's likely going to start pumping, and I think this is going to help Tesla hold up quite nicely. So watch that 280 area very, very carefully. That's going to be my specific target, specifically 278 to 280, just to be like a little bit more broad, but just watch that zone very carefully. Now, support for Tesla is going to be around this 275 area, which is where it's testing right now. 274.31, which is our 5 EMA. Then we also have 272, 271 flat, and then the 270 flat area, all as supports based off the EMAs and previous levels. I don't think Tesla's going to drop that hard. And we could see maybe not like this the most strong price action because some negative headlines are coming out, but nonetheless, I think the odds favor a nice push for like 280, maybe a slowdown afterwards. Then this thing making an attempt to break it, we'll see if it could do so. We're just gonna have to watch and wait at that point. Looking at SPY, this thing is currently at a pretty decent level around this 446 area. If it breaks this, it has the potential to go up to 447.5, 448.72, then 450 as our next resistance zones. So far, it's looking bullish. If you look at the 30-minute time frame, the 4-hour time frame as well. And CPI was very nice. We're likely going to get a pop near open, then cool off a little bit, then try to continue going. So I think it's going to get very close to 448 at the very least. I think there's a good chance it's going to try to keep going. And the market is looking very, very excited about this report so far. To add on to this, just to be safe for support, you have 444.8 and then 443.76 or the 444 zone. Then we have 442 below that. I don't think it's going to drop that hard. I mean, honestly, guys, the numbers were very good. There are going to be a lot of buyers stepping in. And lots of analysts are saying to buy into the markets. They're becoming very, very optimistic, especially if the Fed speakers say some optimistic things. The market may see more buyers. The market's excited. The odds do favor more upside. To add on to this, like I told you guys before, if we zoom out of the chart on SPY and look at the 4-hour time frame, we're going to be seeing this cup and handle like formation. This is why I was leaning more bullish yesterday. I also looked at other factors such as what the data was suggesting, what it was looking like, and other things like that, all suggesting that CPI would likely be decent. And we are seeing this cup and handle playing out. You can see it's looking quite nice, and the odds do favor upside as of right now, the 4-hour candle is looking bullish. Apple's also looking bullish. We're going to be watching for that 190 plus test because we have that unfilled gap up there. I think the odds favor trying to fight this 50 EMA at 189.4 and potentially breaking above that to get to at least 190 or higher. Last but not least, for the triple Q right now is testing around this 372 zone, 372 around there. We also have a potential cup and handle on the triple Q right here. So it's looking more bullish than bearish. And we're going to be watching 372.8. Could we break that zone right there? If we manage to break that, we're going to be watching this thing probably go up to about 374 to 375, the entire zone up there. Maybe even higher levels if it breaks above that to like 377. But in my opinion, it's looking pretty good so far. The odds do favor upside. For support, make sure you watch 371, 370 flat, 369.5, 368, and then 366.8. I think the odds favor this thing pumping near the open, trying to retest 372.8. Maybe it cools off a little bit after that, then pushes even higher to about 375 or so. All right, guys, thank you all for listening. Meta also broke above 300, which is what I was predicting. The video is looking quite strong too. But I'm going to have to end the video now to upload this as fast as possible. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day, everyone. Get ready for all the news. The odds do favor upside. I'll see you guys in the next one. Market to the moon. So the long term is very bright. Tesla to the moon. And peace out.